In this video I'm going to create this part. It is an exercise from CAD CAM tutorial. It's for Solidsworks, but it will be interesting to see how to create it in Ironcad. So I will begin with this bottom plate and then continue with this cylinder. So I begin to drag an extrude shape, drop it here. We see the size is 50 by 65. So it is already 50 in this direction, the width. So I click here to type 65. And the thickness is 6 millimeters. Like so. Then I drag a cylinder, drop it here in the center. And the diameter is 26. And the distance from this side here is 30 and the height is 40. So the diameter is 26. Let's see now, I will select that handle. 26 is 40 from the bottom. Right click this handle, edit distance from the bottom, 40. Then turn on the tribal, right click here, edit distance from this side is 30, like so. Then I need another cylinder here, so I will copy this one. So I turn on the tribal and I will move the tribal to the bottom. So I unlock the tribal by pressing the space bar, right click here to point the bottom of the plate, then lock the tribal and select this axis, right click and drag inside the tribal, drop it there, and I will copy this cylinder. It is 45 degrees, like so, and turn off the tribal. Then I have to adjust the length of the cylinder. So I will do like this. I will grab the handle and drag the cylinder up a bit, and then I right click the IntelliShape. Here I choose backward and condition, extrude to shape, and I will select that shape, surface. Click finish shape, like so. And then the height of the cylinder, we see that the height from the bottom to the center is 35 millimeters. So there might be several ways of doing this, but I will do it this way. I'm going to use a sketch, and we see down here the angle or the position is YZ. So I will select that plane, YZ, continue without change, and the camera turns upside down, so I press L on the keyboard for left. So now we see it in the right way. Then I will move the grid, so I turn on the tribal, right click this 2D handle and choose the center point of this cylinder. Then I remove the tribal, press W to get the command look at, like so. And then I right click to select the 2-point line, begin here at the origin, drag it up here, like so, and the angle of this line should be 45 degrees, we see it here. So I select the line on this side of the midpoint, double click this dimension, type 45, and then I right click to select polyline, begin to draw a line from the y-axis, perpendicular to the y-axis, right click here, type 35, and then drag another line perpendicular to the first one, like so. And then we have 35 millimeters here, so I will use trim to trim these lines. Then I right click, choose 2-point line, drag another one perpendicular to the first line there. Then I click finish, select the cylinder, grab this handle, use the shift key to snap to the line. So now we have 35 from that center to the bottom. So now I can select the sketch, right click and suppress it. Next step is to add this part. So I use an extrude shape, drop it here on the center point, and the thickness is 4 millimeters. So I select the blue handle, type 4, and the size is square 36. So I right drag this handle to change the size in both directions. Then I drop it there, type 36. Do the same on this side, right drag and type 36. So now I have added that part, but I have also added 4 millimeters to the height of the cylinder. So that means if I have to move it backward 4 millimeters, so I select this square in IntelliShape level, then add the tribal, right click this handle, mirror and move. So now it is in the right position. Then I will add this cylinder here. So I grab another cylinder, drop it here on the midpoint, change the diameter to 12, we see R6, that means 12 millimeters. Grab this blue handle, drag it to the other side to snap to that side, do the same here, snap to this side, and we see that the center of the cylinder is 6 millimeters from this side here. So I use the tribal, right click, edit distance from this point and type 6 millimeters. Like so. Then I continue to add another cylinder. We have one here. Grab the cylinder, drop it here. And the diameter is the same as the first one, R6, that means 12. Then I grab this handle, snap it to the other side, snap that handle to this side, and I use the tribal to move it in the right position. We see that the center of the cylinder has the same distance from the bottom as this plane here. So 10 millimeters from the bottom. So I right click this handle, edit distance from the bottom, 10 millimeters, and 30 millimeters from that side. Select that axis, right click, edit distance from this side, 30 millimeters, like so. Then I will add this geometry, add another extrude shape, drop it here, and I will grab that handle to snap it to the back side here, and the width is 10, so change that, type 10, and the height is 15 from the bottom, so I will right click this handle, edit distance from point, the bottom, 15. Then I will add more geometry, grab another extrude shape, drop it here on the midpoint, and I will grab that handle to change the width. Then I will snap it to that side, and I will snap this side to the center of that cylinder, and the height from the bottom is 10, so I would right click the blue handle, edit distance from the bottom, 10 millimeters. And then we have this part here, so I grab another extrude shape, drop it here on the center, and I will snap that to the back side here, and I will drag that handle to the bottom. We see the height is 30, so I can select that handle, type 30, and the width is 15. So I right click and push, drop it there, type 15 and hit enter. Like so. Then I will also add a couple of supports or ribs here. To do that, I will use a sketch. I'm already in sketch mode, so I come over here to select sketch, but I will choose 2D shape, continue without change, and I will click here on the center point, click finish or OK to add the grid. Then I will move the grid. I use the tribal, right click the center handle, choose to point, select this node, and then remove the tribal. Then I right click to add a 2-point line, click here on the origin, drag a line in this direction along the x-axis, like so. Click finish. Now I can add rib, go to feature, rib command, select the part and the sketch. We see here, select the sketch, and we see the red arrow is pointing upward. It means I have to change the direction. I do that by selecting or clicking in this reverse direction, like so. And the width of the rib should be 4 millimeters. Then I click OK, and we have a support or a rib there. Then I will add another one on this side, here. Use another sketch, 2D sketch, continue without change. Click here on this midpoint. Now we see that the grid will be positioned in this direction, but I want it to be another direction. So I select point, click on the midpoint, and now I have it has been positioned in the right angle. So I click finish or OK. I have to add a line, but first I have to rotate this grid a little bit. So I turn on the tribal and I make sure that I see this handle on this side. I right click the handle, choose to point, and I will select this node up here so that the grid is pointing to that node. Then I remove the tribal, right click, add a 2-point line from the origin, and I click here on this point. Then I click finish. Now I can go back to feature and rib, select the part, and Ironcad find the profile, the sketch, 4 millimeters, and I click OK, and we got a rib there as well. So next step is to add some fillets or blends. We see here all corner fillets are 2 millimeters, and some of them are also 6 millimeters. These are 6 millimeters, and the others here are 5. So, but I will begin with a 2 millimeter blend. So I begin here, select that edge, and this one, and here, and here as well, like so. On this side, on the other side here, and then I come over here to select that edge, and this one, and this one. Then we have this edge, and that edge will have a radius of 6 millimeters. So I will select it and then type 6 and hit enter. And these corners will also have a blend of 6 millimeters, so I will come over here to select them. That one, this one, and these two. Like so. And then these corners should be R5. So I select that edge, type 5 and hit enter. Then I select the other 3 and this one, then I hit enter. So next step is to add some holes. I begin with these big holes. So I use a cut cylinder, drag it and drop it here, And the size of the hole are 20. So I drag the handle and type 20, hit enter. Then I grab the handle because the hole will go through the part, like so. And then I will grab another hole, cut cylinder, drop it there. And the size is 20 here as well. We see here the diameter is 20. Then I grab the lower handle and snap it to the bottom. Then we have these holes. They have the same diameter of 4 millimeters. So I will begin with this one, type 4, and hit enter. Then I grab the lower height handle, snap it to the bottom, turn on the tribal, and I right click the center handle and hold. Then I use the shift key to snap to the arc, to snap to the center of the arc. Drop it there, and this one I will link. Okay, also set reset tribal, because when I click OK, the tribal will be positioned on the last hole, the copied hole. Then I right drag the center handle again, use the shift key to snap to that arc. This one will be copy because I have to change the depth of the hole. And then I continue. Right drag the center handle, snap to the arc like so, and link. Click OK. Turn off the tribal. Change the depth of the hole, both of them, these two linked holes. Then I will add another hole. I drop it here. It's 4 millimeters. And this one will go through this part. And I will use the tribal to copy that hole to this position. And this one will be copy. Okay. Then I will copy another hole and drop it here. Snap to the arc so it will be positioned in the center. Copy and OK. Then turn off the tribal, and I will change the length of the hole to this side. Do the same here. It will go through the whole part, like so. And then we need 4 holes here, and usually we use a cut cylinder and drop it here, but there's another way of doing it. You can copy one of these holes and put it here. So I will select that hole, and every part and feature has an anchor like this one, and I select the anchor here. And you see that this axis that is pointing perpendicular to the surface is the z-axis, and it's always pointing perpendicular to the surface. So if I now left click and hold the anchor, drag, we see that now I will move the hole to this position. If I now press and hold the control key, I will copy that hole. And if I also press and hold the shift key at the same time, I can now snap to the center of that arc. So when I let go the left mouse button, I got a hole here. Then if I select that hole and turn on the tribal, I can right click the center handle and choose create multiple copies or links, and I will use links using tribal center. And the tribal turns to yellow. Now I can left click and hold and drag the tribal. Use the shift key to snap to the arc, let go. Here I press P to add a point. Do the same again. Left click and hold, drag the tribal, use the shift key to snap to the arc. Use P again, and I do it again here. And press P, and then hit enter. I got 4 holes. And I will change the depth, and it will change all of them because they are linked, all 4. Next step is to make a cut here, this one. So I use a cut extrude, drop it there, and the width is 6 and the depth is 10. So I will right click and push, type 6. The depth is, let's see now, is 10. Then I grab this handle, snap it to this side, and grab that handle and snap that to this side. So this is how you can create this part in Ironcad.